Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting moment with your favorite math teacher, Coach K, in his Math Corner. Hey, we're going to talk today about negative exponents. Math objective: as a math student, I will be able to find the value of positive numbers with a negative exponent. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. You need a graphic organizer number 11. Make sure that you have it. I don't think I wrote 11 up there. I believe I wrote 8. Ignore that, put 11, okay? All right, thank you very much, and get it right now. All right, now remember, our objective is to be able to find the value of positive numbers with a negative exponent. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The very first vocabulary word you're going to see is, boom. Come on, I guess it's not going to do that. Doesn't want to do that. Let's do this. There we go. Base, the factor being used in a power. This is a review, but I want to make sure you got it, okay? 2, exponent, how many times to use the base in multiplication. 3, a little long. You don't need to write the whole thing. Maybe a number or fraction that's flipped over. Remember, the product of that whole number or fraction is always, and its reciprocal is always equal to 1. And the last one is evaluate. Now, I don't use that word much. Once in a while I'll say evaluate it, but I just want to make sure you get this word in your mindset. Evaluate simply means solve a problem to find an answer, okay? Now, if I don't use it in this, I apologize, but I'm going to try, okay? All right, here we go. Oh, and make sure that you write everything down that I'm showing you and saying, all right? So here's the very first one. We want to evaluate this negative exponent with a positive base, okay? Now, just before I start this, let me explain something and review something with you. Remember, when we have a base and a positive exponent, remember what we do? We take 2 times 2, come on, times 2, times 2, right? All right, and the answer is 16. Because, let me erase that and do that again, because 4 times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16, right? All right, now, this is just the inverse of that, or the reciprocal of it, all right? So when I see 2 to the negative 4, what I see is this. Remember, up here we're multiplying. Now, if I wanted to divide, which this is kind of like, I would like divide by 2. But remember, when you can divide by 2, you can also multiply by 1/2. So it is 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2, or standard form. Now you hopefully you know what 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 is, right? And 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16. Answer for this in standard form is 1/16. See? The reciprocal. The reciprocal. All right? This up here, these 2's are reciprocals of the 1/2. Remember, when you're dividing by 2, you can also multiply by 1/2. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay? Again, if you don't understand something, ask. Example 2, here we go. I'm going to pick up the speed a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. Example 2, remember, evaluate. Evaluate this. If it was in a positive exponent form, it'd be 5 times 5, or 25. But when it's negative exponent, it looks like this. The reciprocals of 5 would be 1/5 times 1/5. Or standard form, 1 times 1 is 1, and 5 times 5 is 25. Again, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this. You got it. Congratulations, 1/25. These are reciprocals of each other, okay? Reciprocals. All right. Here we go. Let's go to the next one, number 3, example 3. And again, if you don't understand something, please ask. Remember, your objective is to be able to evaluate or find the value of positive numbers with a negative exponent. Evaluate this. Whoops, I am so sorry, I forget to sometimes use my pencil. All right, so here we go. Again, we're looking at 3 to the negative third. If it was 3 to the third power, it would be 3 times 3 times 3, or 9 times 3, which is 27. But when you deal with negative exponents, actually what you have is the inverse, or I'm sorry, the reciprocal of those 3's, which is 1/3 times 1/3 times 1/3. And this exponent 3 tells me how many times I need to put 1/3 out there. All right? Well, 1 times 1 times 1 is 1, and 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations. We have a reciprocal. Now, I don't want you to think, well, I can just skip steps. Now, I want you to show the steps so you ingrain it in your brain. Get it in your brain, okay? One other thing. Think about this, and I'm going to go on to the next screen and say something about this. All right, here's your independent task. I'm going to stop the video. You get it done right now. Now, I hope you didn't just sit there and wait for me to tell you the answers. I wanted you to actually do it. Yeah, it says write the factor form and standard form for each of these, all right? So we got 3 to the negative 2. Remember, that's like saying 3 times 3 if it was a positive 2. But it's negative, so we want to write the reciprocal. 1/3 times 1/3. Or 3 times 3 is 9, and 1 times 1 is 1. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, you got the answer, 1/9. 4 to the negative 3rd. 4, whoops, I apologize. You messed up, Coach K. All right, here we go. 1/4 times 1/4 times 1/4. All right, so that's like 4 times 4 is 16, times 4 is 64, and 1 times 1 times 1 is 1, so we got 1/64, right? Okay, and then 7 to the negative 2 would be 1/7 times 1/7, which is equal to 1 times 1 is 1, and 7 times 7 is 49, and what do you know? We got it, 1/49. Now, before we move on, what would you understand, and I hope you would, if I would say this, 1/16. Okay, so if I want to break that down into factor form, it would look like this. And it could look different ways, but it could look like this. It could be, well, what number can I multiply to get 16? It could be 4 to the negative 2 power. It could be 2 to the negative 4 power. Either way, I would get 16. 1/16. It's all based on your exponents and what base you use. Okay, because you're going to have to do that. You're going to actually have to take one of these answers and write it as in the exponent form. And I'm not going to tell you what it is. So when you get to the next part, which is your exit ticket, you'll see that you'll have to do some of those. Like at number 3, write 1/81st in the exponent and factor form. Okay? Now you need to make sure you know what to do. And if you don't, go back, look at the video. All right, look at the video. Remember your objective. As a math student, I will be able to find the value of positive numbers with a negative exponent. Right there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Get going. When you're done, make sure you hand it in, take a picture, submit it, and hey, what do you know? A brand new idea that maybe some of you never knew before. Hey, congratulations. And guess what? I finished in less than 9 minutes. Awesome!